At this year's piano playoffs, students got to play works of Bach, who's considered one of the fathers of classical music. Tonight, 16-year-old Raylan Wagner is locked up behind me at the Duval County Jail after police say he stabbed both of his parents while they were sleeping. Hola y bienvenidos a Inside Swoop, donde te traemos las últimas noticias de lo que está pasando en campus. Yo soy Alexandra Torres-Perez y estoy aquí para ponerte al día de lo que va a pasar esta semana. An Osprey update was sent out on Thursday afternoon, and President John Delaney said that outside of Duval County, we get most of our students from Broward. The UNF Counseling Center is now offering open hours for all students affected by this tragedy. Parson was arrested here on Lane Avenue off I-10 East and 295, a route that our crime analyst Gil Smith says has been used to transport drugs for years. But here at the crime scene, you can see some tire marks as well as a torn down mailbox. There's also a lot of police paint throughout the street, and police have put up a sign asking for people with any information to call Crime Stoppers. Mitchell Grotman's family moved from Chicago to Coral Springs primarily for the reason of it being one of the safest cities in America. He would never expect the tragedy that took place on Wednesday afternoon to happen not only where he lived, but where he graduated from high school.
It's still, very fresh. Just everyone's, I think, still kind of in shock.
Mitchell graduated from Douglas High in 2014. His younger brother Ben is currently attending the same school and was in class when the shooting took place.
As soon as I heard that there was a shooter on our campus, I called him, thinking that he was out of school because it was after school got out. So I just thought maybe someone after school, didn't like someone and then they shot him or something like that, not realizing the severity of the situation.
It took 3 times before Mitchell's brother answered the phone, and when Ben did answer, he whispered he was locked in a closet with about 50 other students as an active shooter roamed the campus. Ben was in that closet for 3 hours before the SWAT team escorted them out.
So, when I finally talked to him after he was with my parents again, I was crying like a baby.
An Osprey update was sent out on Thursday afternoon, and President John Delaney said that outside of Duval County, we get most of our students from Broward. The UNF Counseling Center is now offering open hours for all students affected by this tragedy.
If you're not traumatized by this, that's probably not a good sign. It affects us. As human beings, it's going to affect us. So.
The Counseling Center is open from 8 to 5, but if students don't have the time to stop by during their normal hours, there are other ways for them to get help.
You can call our phone number, 904-620-2602, and press, once the voicemail kicks in, press 2, and it's connected to a service. So they're connected to a counselor on the phone. So students can talk to a counselor even when we're closed.
Though it may take some time to recover, everybody can still learn a very valuable lesson through this tragedy.
If there is a message that I'd like to get out to people, it's just that I think that it's really important to let your loved ones know as much as possible how much you love and care about them, because I can't even begin to describe the feeling when I wasn't sure if my brother was safe. It was just one of the most stressful and fearful moments I've ever had in my entire life.
With Spinnaker, I'm Alex Torres-Perez. You're looking at $1 million worth of drugs confiscated as a result of a long-term investigation by local and federal authorities called Operation Cash Flow. 8 kilos of cocaine, 2 kilos of heroin, and 5 guns. Officials arrested 11 suspects since May and are still looking for 3 more. We went to several locations where the suspects lived and tried to speak to neighbors, but frankly, they don't want to get involved, and some say they're shocked that this even happened in their neighborhood. April and Rob Mattetti moved into the neighborhood 3 days before one of the suspects, 36-year-old Gregory Brown, was arrested.
And it was an odd kind of welcome to the neighborhood.
Before moving in, neighbors told them this was a safe neighborhood, so they were shocked to hear that the person living down the street was dealing deadly drugs, especially when they heard the heroin that was being dealt was laced with fentanyl.
The drugs are already dangerous on their own, and to be laced with something else, it just makes it worse.
News4JAT's crime and safety analyst Gil Smith says fentanyl can be extremely dangerous.
Over the past 3 years, deaths due to these type of opioid overdoses has gone up over 500%. One DEA agent made the comment that if anything can be compared to a weapon of mass destruction, it's fentanyl.
Our crime analyst said that this operation potentially saved thousands of lives. Reporting from downtown, I'm Alexandra, Torres-Perez.